Hello everybody, this is Trent. I am here to talk to you about my opinion of the iPod Classic that was recently announced by Steve Jobs in a keynote in San Francisco. As you know, I've been talking about the iPods day in and day out, especially about the iPod Touch that was introduced at the same conference the same day as the iPod Classic and the new iPod Nano. Now, I went out and decided to go ahead and get myself the iPod Classic to replace this old 5th generation iPod with video. Now, as you can see here, this is 60 gigs, and then the profile is quite thick compared to the current generation iPod Classic, which is 80 gigs. So I'm going to compare these two side by side. And just bear with me because this is my first time using the iSight camera, so it's kind of awkward to see myself, in front of this camera without having to look at myself like this instead of looking directly at the camera. So just bear with me on that. The one thing I like about the new iPod Classic is that the slimmer profile, I believe, came from the fact that Apple took away the thin layer of plastic over the top of the 5th generation model. Because the plastic, the clear lucite, covered both the screen and the body of the iPod surrounding the click wheel. And in addition to the fact that it has a thicker profile, added more to the size of the player itself. Whereas with the newer Classic model, they did away with that plastic and they only have the anodized aluminum, which is related to the iPod Nanos, and the screen and just the click wheel itself. So they don't have any need for any of the plastic covering the top part of the iPod. And in addition to taking away the top layer of plastic, they've also slimmed down the iPod to make it a lot more attractive in size. Now, what's very neat is to seeing how far Apple has come with this 5th generation iPod that's a 60 gig compared to this current generation, which is 80 gigs. Very neat, I must say. Now, one thing I do like about the new current version of the iPod is the interface. I put up a couple of videos beforehand about the iPod Classic, and one of those videos showcased the interface of the iPod. As you can see here, I think it looks like it's a bit too bright, but the new interface showcases a split screen where you have the menu on one side and then you have a preview picture of whatever you're selecting on the other, whether it be album art or a photograph from your photo library, or just an icon for a specific feature like podcasting or audiobooks or what have you, or a calendar or a stopwatch. So I really do like the split screen interface because I feel like it makes navigation not necessarily easier, because the ease of the navigation comes from the click wheel itself, but it makes it a bit more attractive. Instead of having this huge amount of white screen space on the old 5th generation models, you are privileged enough to have an attractive navigation experience with the split screen in the new iPod Classic. So I think it looks cool. It looks attractive, and it doesn't necessarily do anything to add any efficiency because the click wheel already does that, but it just makes it look a bit more neater to go through and search what you need to search for. Now, on the interface, you'll notice that they've also added cover flow to the iPod, which is exactly the same as what you get on the iPhone, which I also think is very neat. In addition to all of these features and the fact that they've slimmed down the iPod, there is one problem that I came across, and that's the playback of certain videos. In my iTunes library, under the Movies folder, I have a few videos that I recorded with Nokia smartphones. You have my N93, my E90, and my N95, with which I recorded videos that I eventually ported over into my iTunes library. Well, I have to say that my 5th generation iPod, which is this thicker version right here, played everything with no problem at all. It played all of the videos once I imported them into iTunes. But I have to say that for some reason my iPod Classic, the newer version, will not play any of the videos that I had shot with my Nokia smartphones for some reason. I have no idea why. I'm thinking that I have to optimize each of the videos to be able to play them on the new iPod, but I figured that's kind of strange. If I didn't have to optimize them before for the old iPod, why would I have to do it for this new one here? I don't know. It's a question that I'm going to try to answer after I finish putting together this video and loading it up on YouTube. But for right now, that's kind of a mystery. So just to show you what I'm talking about, I'm going to play a video for you that was shot with my one of my Nokia smartphones. And this one is basically a video of my unboxing the N93. And no, let's do the N95 because I know for sure that was shot with the N93. So this is N95 pickup, and I'm shooting myself outside, I believe, waiting for the UPS guy to come by. I apologize for the glare here off of my Mac. Okay, it should look a lot better now. Now, as you can see, it plays it through just fine. And this is the video that was recorded once again from my Nokia smartphone. And this is on the old 5th generation iPod with video. You see that it's much thicker. Now, what I'm going to do now is access that same video on my iPod Classic, which is a newer generation model. Now, I wouldn't know why it would have any difficulty in playing anything that the N95, that the old 5th generation could play. But I don't know. I'm going to try to go into my iTunes library and re-optimize all of my Nokia smartphone videos, or optimize a couple just to test them out, and then once I sync them back to my iPod Classic, I'll go from there. But what I'm going to do now is select the video on my iPod Classic, and you see there? As you can see here on the menu, it says Nokia N95 pickup, which is the same video I had on my old 5th generation model, and it accesses the video and it plays it, but look what happens. It fast forwarded really quickly, and it freezes, and there's nothing that I can do except hit the menu button to go backwards to the menu. Now, no matter how many times I hit the play pause button, it has no effect. If you take a look here on the upper part of the screen, you'll see that I'm hitting the play pause button repeatedly, and it's having no effect on the video at all. So let me just go back and hit the menu button and select it one more time, and I'll show you firsthand once again this glitch in the new iPod Classic. See, it didn't even play at that time. I'm going to select it again. Now it's playing. It fast forwards and then it freezes. And once again, hitting the play pause button has no effect on the video at all. So I don't know what's going on with the iPod Classic. Maybe it's one of those glitches from having a new product. I don't know. But I'm going to try to fix it from my end and optimize the video once again and see what happens. If not, then it's going to have to be addressed when I go back to the Apple Store or something. But it's kind of not really a shock because it's the first edition of a new product that's just been released, and so you're always going to have some kind of a bug that's going to have to be worked out. So in that respect, I hope that it gets worked out soon. But it's not anything of a deal breaker, because other than that, the iPod is a very good device, and I'm glad that I have it to replace my old 5th generation. Now this old 5th generation model is going to be sold to a coworker of mine who's always wanted an iPod, and it's going to be her first time owning one. So I'm going to sell it to her. But yeah, as far as replacing your 5th generation iPod, the new iPod Classic is indeed a great choice. And personally, I went for the silver because the black, I feel, shows too many fingerprints too easily. So, well, that's pretty much it. That's my opinion on the new iPod Classic. And I'm going to try my best to use this MacBook Pro Insight camera to make more videos from now on, instead of using a Nokia smartphone. There is a situation that happened to my Nokia E90, well, not my Nokia E90, but to my AT&T account regarding my data connection, and I'll talk about that in a later video. But for right now, I'll bid adieu to all of you folks out there on YouTube, and I will look forward to talking with you later. Take care. Bye.